and welcome to this edition of Kpsn. For the class of 2021, this one's for you. We made it. After watching spring sports, prom, and large-scale graduations get canceled for last year's senior class, we all feel very fortunate in many ways, but perhaps a little envious of all the classes who came before us that got everything they had imagined in their senior year. What we have seen has been remarkable. Protests against racism and social injustice, an insurrection at our nation's capital, and a global pandemic that killed millions. And yet, we have stayed focused, resilient, and we are graduating. Every one of us should feel pride in having conquered this adversity, and hopefully we will learn from what we have experienced as we move forward, sculpting our futures. Although we didn't get a lot of the things we had hoped for, we got some life lessons that have shaped our character in ways that could potentially make us better prepared for the challenges our future may present to us. Like all of our athletes, we have learned how nothing is promised, and anything can be taken away at a moment's notice. Our graduating class had to make the most of what they were given, and that is exactly what we did. Back in March of 2020, we were stressing about the SATs and college applications, but then the world shut down, and everything became uncertain. Having lost the last bit of a crucial year and an entire season for our spring athletes, hopes were high for a better senior year. It was unsure whether or not we would be allowed to have our sports, as most normal school activities were canceled. Our ability to congregate and be with one another for memorable moments like homecoming, pep rallies, the senior holiday party, Friday night lights, and just about everything that makes the final farewell to high school a little easier was taken away. But thanks to the hard work and dedication of a lot of people, our senior class was able to hold on to our teams. While we couldn't cheer on our classmates, we were still able to make some memories on our own teams, and we have a lot to remember. We found our own way forward. Every team this year worked through a lot of adversity, and we commend all of you for your flexibility and resilience. Make no mistake, the past 2 years will leave their mark. The loss of certain rite of passage experiences leave a void. There's a grief that comes with what has been lost. This is not the farewell any of us were hoping for. But based on the past year, we know that everyone will make the best of what they have because we know how lucky we are to have all that we do. And our next step forward, the class of 2021 will take with them more than they may realize. In addition to a mastery of the inner workings of Zoom, we also have a profound connection with every other graduating senior in the world. For the seniors' final Kpsn, we would like to take some time to honor the resilience and tenacity of our senior athletes one last time.
You can dance! You can jive! Having the time of your life! Ooh, see that girl! Watch that scene! See the dancing queen! I'm so out of tune! It's such a high time!
I played all 4 years for soccer, and lucky enough I got 4 seasons with all the COVID stuff that it's a fall sport, so I got 4 seasons. And I kind of really was happy with my soccer progression because I was on my freshman year, obviously, but then I was on varsity the next 3 years, and it's been fun to kind of grow as the program. We had a coach turnover, so that was okay, and I've liked working with both coaches, Nick Gale and Michael O'Neill. But honestly, through soccer, that's where I've learned all about myself, but mainly I've grouped out and found myself, especially kind of because it allowed me to get a good group of guys around me, as well as kind of put myself out there as a captain and a leader. And I really grew as a leader in the soccer program, especially, and was a senior captain as well. And then with volleyball, it's been fun because I joined freshman year completely new to the competitive volleyball. And that was kind of a new experience, and it was fun because it was just the group of guys we had was great, and it was honestly such a good time that we really weren't there for volleyball. You were there to have fun, and then volleyball came with it, and we ended up playing some really good volleyball. So that was really fun too.
Thinking back on my career at KP, I think what stands out most to me about my experience is just the amazing people I was able to work with for the 4 years. I think every year there were new girls on the team, obviously, but I think especially the seniors, we were able to form a special bond as a team. And because of that, I've definitely been able to make some lifelong friends from field hockey.
I think the things that stood out for me the most throughout the season have been just like the little moments that I got to share with my team, like the bus rides back, especially like belting out Dancing Queen with everyone for Coach Goldberg, and all those little moments at practices where like an inside joke happens or just something like that you really treasure and you don't think about in the grand scheme of things, but they're the things that you remember and really hold on to.
My fondest memory from KP golf was winning the Hawk this year. Each year our goal is to win the Hawk, and lucky enough this year we were able to accomplish that. I know this year's been tough with COVID and the protocols, so to be able to win the Hawk this year was huge.
One of my favorite memories has to be when KP volleyball, we were playing Taunton. We were down 2-0, so it's best out of 5, so we were down 2-0. We came back, this was at our home gym, so it was crazy too. We had some people there. We came back from 2-0, tied it up 2-2, and then we ended up winning the third set. So we came back 3-2, and Taunton's been a well-established program. They've been around for around a decade or even more than that. So it was really cool. It was that was our first varsity year too. So that was really fun to see and a really exciting memory for all of us.
I don't have any specific favorite memories from my time on the field hockey team. However, I have my favorite moments. I think looking back on the past 4 years, I love every single game, every single practice that we had together. I loved playing and kind of experiencing that thrill of being in a game and winning a game or losing a game and just being together no matter what happened.
I think one of my favorite memories was a specific match in tennis that I played against Oliver Ames, because it was like a really long battle for me and I lost the second set, I believe, so we had to go to the third set and I was down 0-4 and wasn't really looking great, and then there was a lot of people there that day out to support me, which was very exciting, and I ended up actually coming back and winning the match, and I think that was one of the matches that I definitely remember most because of how determined I was to kind of like come back and win it, just not only for the team but for myself as well.
I'd really love to thank all my coaches. I've had a lot of different coaches over the years, but despite that, I've been able to grow as a player, and I think that's such an amazing thing. We had new coaches for field hockey the first 2 years. I had one coach my freshman year, and then new coaches my sophomore year, and then another new coach my junior year. And I think it's just incredible that all of them were able to continue what the previous coach had started with all of us, and that despite the change in coaches, we did not lose out in our training.
I would like to thank Coach Goldberg, of course, for coaching me throughout my 3 seasons of tennis, since we didn't get that junior year season. But he has always been there and been so supportive of me throughout not only my tennis career, but also in my academics and my regular life. He's always been there to just kind of cheer you on and give you advice if you need it. And then I'd also love to thank all of the teammates I've had throughout all of my sport endeavors, and just all of them for making it an experience I actually enjoyed and making it fun to go to practice every day.
Honestly, most importantly, kind of my coaches. So there's Nick Gale and Michael O'Neill for soccer, and they were both great. Gale I still talk to, Michael O'Neill I still talk to, and I still talk to them because they continue to help me and they continue to be a good mentor and also a good friend. So it's really been nice to have them around and help me develop as I want to. And then as well as Coach Dios now, who is formerly known as Miss Tukowski, she kind of really trusted me, and she's trusting me this season by having me be the main setter, but she's really kind of trusted me, but she's also kind of really hard on you so that you can grow into the position. And with volleyball, it's important you have that person just to do those small things and adjust you, because after all, that's what's going to change the game for you.
I think I learned a lot about resiliency and how even when something seems bad or something seems like it's not gonna go well, if you push through it and keep an open mind and just stay positive, there's a solid chance that it'll get soon better, and it of course will get better eventually. And I think tennis in particular is a sport that really emphasizes that because of how easy it is to turn a match around if you really push through. And it also just has made me think about all those little moments and really appreciate those. Since I didn't get to have all of my seasons, it made the ones that I did get to have so much more memorable.
with those leadership rules, it's kind of important that you help out the freshmen, the incoming freshmen. We had 40 freshmen, I think, come into soccer, and that was probably one of our highest numbers in the past 4 years. So it was crazy to see, but you just want to get to know those guys because they're the ones who are going to continue the program, and as well as just help them, because honestly, when you come from middle school to high school, it's quite the jump. So you really want to help them be comfortable, but also show them that the high school level of soccer is quite different from like the middle school version, and that ramps them up to speed by integrating them, but also just kind of being happy with them, being around them, making them comfortable, getting friends, kind of keep them active and stuff like that. It goes huge, and I've learned that leadership kind of allows you to have those special bonds and push people to be better. As much as you need to push yourself on, you need to push other people around you because they're going to need it a lot more than you do. And if you realize that and you're able to help out the people around you, you're going to have a much better experience than just kind of being there for yourself. You got to be there for the team, and if you're there for the team, you guys are going to do great things. I will be attending Bridgewater State University in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. I plan on studying and continuing to study accounting, which I've done all 3 courses of in high school. And I do plan on trying out for the soccer team, and I've been in talks with their coach, so it's looking good.
I think what I've learned from being an athlete at KP is really to just put in as much effort as you can. You may not be the fastest or the most talented on the field, but that doesn't mean you're not valuable to the team. For the underclassmen, I just want to say, keep working hard, keep doing your best, keep bonding as a team. These are the people that you're going to spend a lot of time with, and it's so much better if you're friends. So next year, I will be attending NYU Tisch for the dramatic writing major. Unfortunately, I will not be playing field hockey at the college level. However, the sport always holds a very special place in my heart.
I think for the underclassmen, it sounds a little cliche, but just have fun and make sure that you're enjoying yourself. And of course, work as hard as you can and try to win every match possible, but also just make sure you're enjoying it, because one of the things I've loved the most about being on the KP girls tennis team is just how much fun it is each and every day, and all the people, and just how great it is. So make sure that you're keeping that up for yourself and for your teammates, and that the team never loses that just like happy, encompassing bubble that always seems to be around it. I will be attending Cornell University next year. I am planning on majoring in English, and I'm not playing it at the division level, but I'm hoping to keep playing tennis at either a club or intramural level.
I got the privilege to meet with Jack Dwyer, King Philip boys lacrosse team, off to a great start. Tell me a little bit about the start of the season and how tryouts were, first couple practices and games.
Tryouts were good, just getting in the swing of things. The first couple practices, we just working hard, just getting the swing, just getting back in the rhythm, because we've been out for 2 years, so yeah. It's good to be back with the boys, just grinding. 2 games in, we killed North the first game. We won 16-6. It wasn't even a close one, and then we had Stoughton, which we won 15-0. So first 2 games off to a good start. So as we get better competition towards the season, we just got to keep working hard and get some wins.
Right. Yeah. So clearly, first couple games of the season were kind of a breeze. What are going to be your hardest opponents this year, you feel?
Mansfield will be a good challenge, and then Franklin. They're always tough. We haven't beaten them in a while. Or that's our goal, beat Franklin.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like this year is the year to beat Franklin, with the boys hockey team beating Franklin and just upsetting them. I don't think the King Philip boys lacrosse team has beat Franklin in quite a long time. Is there playoffs for?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Sure. All right, well, Jack Dwyer, best of luck to you and your boys this season.
Thank you.
Signing off.
To the class of 2021, we applaud your ability to stand tall during this extremely difficult time. The idealistic power of a passionate young athlete is a force to be reckoned with. And when it is fueled by true experience and tempered in adversity, it can move mountains. The world can't wait to see how members of the class of 2021 put their experiences and wisdom to work. The pain of the pandemic just might become a distant memory when we see what they accomplish together. We wish you good luck in all of your endeavors next year and beyond, and we thank you for representing the King Philip warrior spirit in such an exemplary manner. And with that, we say farewell. It has been an honor to be your news and sports anchor these past 3 years. Tim Hartwell will see you back here next week. On behalf of all of our seniors, this is Mia Valencia, KPTV, signing off.